Oh my gosh, you guys, I am literally just geeking out. Okay, so I have a new tarot deck to show you. New tarot deck, old glasses, hang on. Okay, so bees. This is a tarot deck full of bees. You guys, my heart. This is the Journey of the Sacred Bee, a 78 card tarot journey created by Kelly Burton. A portion of the sales go to the Honeybee Conservatory. I can't even, you guys know. I mean, my husband and I are not beekeepers, but we have, because not yet, because I haven't got him talked into it yet. But I did talk him into not one, not two, but 3 bee motels. We keep specific plants. We tore up a part of the yard and plant bee specific wildflowers. We keep specific bushes and like landscaping around our house for our bees. Mr. Bumbles actually ended up in our house this year when it was cold outside, and like we nursed him back to health and took him back outside. And yeah, like on my last Green Living video or a couple Green Living videos ago, like the pictures of my husband like holding Mr. Bumbles. We are all about the bees. Not only are they super important, like without the bees we would not exist. Like I think if the bees go extinct, I think they said like humankind would have 3 more years or something and then we're done, because that's how important bees are to the world. And they're just super important to us. Like not only is the Green Living and like the zero plastic and low waste really important to us, but like above that, we are a plants and bees family. Like, so when I saw this deck, I knew that I had to have it, no matter what it looked like. But I'm geeking out. Not only, it's so perfect. This deck is wonderful. So it comes in this magnetic style box, opens like this. The inside says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Here is the guidebook. And so it just starts, it says a few little bee musings. And I'm actually going to read this to you guys because it's so important to me. So it says study varied, but the oldest bee fossil is said to be 100 million years old. With the emergence of DNA sequencing, scientists have estimated that the first bees appeared about 145 million years ago, meaning bees survived the dinosaurs. There are approximately 20,000 species of bees, only a few types that live in a hive that produce honey and beeswax. Most bees are solitary and nest in the ground or other accessible habitats. Most people only know about honey and bumblebees. Bees evolved from their carnivorous ancestors, the wasp, and adapted to live on the nectar from newly evolving flowering plants. Flowers were able to spread and grow larger and diversify as the bees carried the pollen longer distances. The bees and other pollinators bring us 1/3 of our food supply. A symbiotic relationship exists between ourselves, bees, and flowers, and today the importance of bees in pollinating all kinds of crops has sparked the phrase, no bees, no life. I just can't, I'm so jacked up about bees. I want you guys to be jacked up about it too. It's so important. Okay, so it just talks about the journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot. It gives a few different spreads that you can use. Goes over how to use this deck, and then it starts into the major arcana. So it just talks, it has this little section here that says the journey and then the divinatory meaning. So for what would be the Fool or the 0 card for on a Rider-Waite deck. So this is called the journey. And then here it says the journey. The sacred bee leaps into the portal that lies before her. She is carried by the sacred first breath or wind of creation. There are no preconceived notions or expectations. The mission begins with an innate intelligence that simply guides the graceful movements of her wings, taking her forward. And then it gives the divinatory meaning. And that goes on for each one of the major arcana. The minor arcana are more condensed. Once I get back here, kind of to the back of the book. So this is like how they set up the minor arcana. It's a little bit more condensed, but still good information. Okay, let me show you this deck. Okay. I opened it. I was going to wait for you guys. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I made it literally 5 minutes after this deck got into the house from the mailman. Okay, here are the backs of the decks. It's got this amazing foiling. And then it's gilded on the sides. Look how gorgeous that is. Yes, beautiful. The cardstock is like a pretty thick, really sturdy cardstock. I'm not exactly sure what, but it's pretty thick. It's more, and they're matte cards, which I love. And it's more like matte, sturdy, more cardboard stiff. So I'm a huge riffle shuffler, but these type of cards and my love for bees, you probably couldn't pay me to riffle shuffle this deck, actually. And I was actually thinking of asking in one of my tarot groups if people were riffle shuffling this deck, because I just feel like to get a good mix and to get the answers that I need, that I have to riffle shuffle. But this deck, I don't think I could do it. I literally never say that either, but I love the sound that these make too. Okay, I'm just going to show you a few of my cards just to talk through these. The suits are a little bit different, as in instead of pages, we have princesses. But you guys, look at these. And then, so like this would be like the 10 of discs or pentacles. And so like, and it has a keyword, and then like your element and your Hebrew letter also. Hopefully you guys can see that. But look at these colors. It's just, even showing it on here is not going to do it justice. I just picked out a few of my favorite cards that I want to show you. So like this, the Queen of Discs, and this has like the elements on it. So the Six of Cups and your keyword pleasure. Also on your, so like this is aces. So on your aces, I don't know if I can get it to show, but it'll probably show in the walkthrough. But for all your aces on the bottom, it says the root of the powers of fire, of water. But just these colors, this color scheme, it's so eye-catching. It's so earthy. The cards feel amazing. They're so gorgeous. This card here, the Tower, so it has like the planet, and then it has the Hebrew letter, but like, I don't know if it'll catch it on here, but like this literally looks like 3D, like you could touch it. These colors are so bright and happy. But I love bees. Everything about this makes me just feel warm inside. It makes me so deeply happy. This is a strength card. I love that in like the honey splatter, it has like the traditional, the lion. And I thought this card was just really, really beautiful. It just, for some reason, it really speaks to me. The whole deck does. This is definitely a deck for me, but this card specifically. And then, of course, everyone that's heard of this deck has probably seen this card, but it's just beyond beautiful with the color contrast. It's so bright. Again, I love bees. A part of the sales go to help save bees. It's just, it talks about the journey of the bee and the importance of the bee to like the world and human life even. It's just so wonderful. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that I have bought decks just because they have one B card in them, but I've never found a full B deck. And then, was it last year, I found my B Oracle. I mean, I had to like hunt for this, and I love the shape. I love the colors. I'm trying to find a few of my favorite cards from this. And I have a walkthrough of this on my deck, or on my deck. I have a walkthrough of this on my channel here, but I love this. So this is my B Oracle, and now I have a B tarot deck. So I just, look at these colors. It's so amazing. So I love this deck. This could definitely very much be my favorite deck. I have one and only problem with this deck. So I opened this already because I am a child and I couldn't wait. I was so excited. So this deck was, I already opened it, you know, broke into it, whatever. But the only thing that was so heartbreaking for me, that is my personal pet peeve, is that this deck came and the outside, of course, is wrapped in plastic. And then when I got it open, I got it completely open. Inside, the deck was, again, I ran into another useless, environmentally harming plastic packaging. So it was doubly wrapped in plastic. I hate that. I can't stand it. It like breaks my heart that everywhere else in my life, in my family's life, that all of us are making these conscious decisions of no plastic. And like my spiritual work, my tarot business, I read tarot and oracle. I'm a professional reader. I read full time. Like, this is my full-time gig. And everywhere else in our life, we're reducing waste. My husband's taking steps to reduce waste. My kids are taking steps to reduce waste. And in my tarot practice, in my reading practice, my spiritual practice, I have the most plastic. So that's my only problem with this, was that not only was there plastic on the outside, after I got the deck open, there's plastic on the inside. The cards were shrink wrapped in plastic. Why? Why do they do that? Like, that's so unnecessary. Plastic at all is unnecessary, but okay, I digress. Anyways, that's my only qualm. Otherwise, a portion of the sales go to save the bees. This deck is absolutely gorgeous. It's perfect. Definitely check it out. Let's flip the camera around and go through this. I will put a link down below because you need this deck. You will probably also need a couple B motels, and I can tell you where to get those also.